You guys really turned up today, huh? We got 16 people here. What's going on, guys? How's everybody doing? Are you guys ready to talk about the worst division in JJDL? I'm just kidding. You guys are great. How is everybody doing today? Be sure to leave a like if you haven't already, by the way. It helps push us out into the algorithm, helps us a ton. Hi, Lamau. Thank you for the first hello. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm not sure what's going on with all the logos being gone. It's probably the Google Sheets external error thing. I don't know how to fix it up top. So we're going to deal with no logos for right now, but we do have all the sprites, so that should be okay. Oh, no! Unless I do that. John Jr. himself, what's going on? How's everybody doing? We're here to talk about these teams today, boys. We're here to not necessarily rate them, but give out pros and cons. If you missed the last stream, we did this with both Chi Yu and Team Lu divisions. This is basically just because I got to go through this and do this myself anyway, so I might as well do this with you guys because I enjoy streaming, I enjoy talking to you guys, and I'm going to make some little notes on the side. We're going to talk about pros and cons of each team, what we do and what we do not like of each team. Dan is the best team because he has Big Mochi, and that is true. We have to factor in mascot. My team number 2, wahoo, yippee! I've worked 40 hours this week already. I am dead. I feel that, Noah. It's been a tough week for me, too. It has been a tough week, but if everybody's here and ready, I think I saw SJ in the chat earlier. Somebody was talking about bad SJ takes. Yeah, there he is. There's the man of the hour. What's going on, Bash? How are you doing? I'll give everybody like another 2 minutes to hop in here before we start giving our opinions on these different teams. How many likes are we at right now, by the way? If you have not already, go ahead and like. And if you haven't already, for whatever reason, go ahead and subscribe. It's free, and you have to do it to talk in the chat. We're at 9 likes already. Can we get to 10? How you doing? It's been a tough week. I won't lie. Work has been super tough. I got promoted, and it's been a little bit of hell this week. And with how busy the weekend is with both power rankings and the draft stream, it's a lot. It's a very busy week, but I love it. We'll get into it, right? We'll get through it. You got a finals game tomorrow. Good luck with that, Bash. What's going on, Chef? Thank you, Will. Oh, yeah, also, I didn't say it yet, but guess what, guys? I figured it out. Shout out to Star, of course, the channel manager. There's low latency now. There's like a 5-second stream delay. There's no more of that 30 to 60-second stream delay. I will see your messages within 5 seconds now. 5 to 10 seconds. So, he took my ability to make good takes. Low latency. See, look at that. I said that 5 seconds ago, Lost. Here we go. SJ for Wochi and champion. Let's not do that. Let's not have the 3 time. Yeah, but everybody, shout out to Star. And also, while I'm thinking about it, hold up. While I'm thinking about it, we have 2 new emotes on the way. If you guys are not already, it's only 99 cents to become a channel member. Super simple. Just a 99-cent payment every month. That is less than $1 before tax, of course. And if you want, you just push that through and you get some cool emotes that you might see spammed in the chat right now. We have 2 new emotes on the way. An Imbor Salute, a Bernardo, and a Gengar Wave. So, if you want to, get on that. Thriller for Ochi and Champion. I would love to see that Thriller, to be honest with you. You would be my favorite to win this division, especially with your team. I like your team a lot. Star's the MVP owner of this channel. Okay, we have 20 people here. How's everybody doing? We're going to go ahead and jump in here. Again, if you missed the first stream, basically what we're doing here, we're not actually doing the power rankings today. That will be Saturday, and it's looking like it'll be at 8 p.m. EST. Unfortunately, I'm sorry if you are going to miss that, but we did have to move that due to some real-life complications. But basically, we're just going to be talking about the pros and cons of all 16 teams in the Woshian division. SJ, get off of this dock, man. I see your little gerbil rabbit face over on this dock. Get out of here. So John can ignore us faster. I'm pretty good about talking to you guys. I'm not gonna get political, but it's sad that the 2 best candidates are both hilariously unfit for filling any political role. Yeah, Zaba! Hold on, Zaba is being a little rambunctious. Give me 1 second. Alright, Zaba was playing with the bathroom, playing with the toilet and stuff, so. Alright, no cat time. He ran away immediately. We'll go ahead and jump in here. Who said hi, chat? SJ, I got my eyes on you, man. You could also just say hi chat in chat. Crazy concept. We're gonna start, but we're gonna talk about Draco here. Draco and his Vegas Golden Glades. Again, I'm sorry there are no logos on the screen. Google Sheets changed their privacy policy. It's been a little bit tough. We're gonna talk about Draco here. What do you guys initially think of this team? Terapagos, Sneasler, Rillaboom, Kyurem, Metagross, Salamence, Vaporeon, Alcremie, Skuntank, and Trapinch. This is a good team. Time to find reasons to hate it, though. Why? What do we not like about this team? Obviously, this is a good team, right? It's got all you could ask for in terms of a lot of different stuff. It's got, you know, physical sweepers, setup sweepers. It's got physical breakers, special breakers. It's got a good Terra Captain. It does have an Alcremie. That would deduct it a couple of points, obviously. It doesn't love the move Scald. Well, it has Vaporeon, though. This is a good team. This is a good team. Any way to zoom in? I mean, yeah, I could hit him with a little bit of, hello? Well, maybe not. There we go. We could zoom in like this. If you guys so wish, we could do this and go, individual. Yeah, that'll work. There we go. How's that? What's going on, screen? How you doing, man? Team is incredibly weak to flying spam. I think the only bad thing is no hazards. Well, they do have Metagross, but I do agree. Obviously, forcing Metagross into that role is not great. And Terapagos as well, but you never really want to run rocks on Terapagos. Never really want to do that. Only resist is Metagross, which is actually recovery. What's going on, Aurora? Live Woach Shizanold reaction. Central, if you ever say that again, I'm going to ban you. Flying weak, no removal. They do have Terapagos. Let's not say no removal, it's just limited removal. Obviously, you don't really want to run Rapid Spin on Terapagos, but I think you're more likely to run Rapid Spin than Rocks on Terapagos for sure, in my opinion. Don't know anything about Terapagos. How is that? I'm a little biased because it's the mon that I want to try most in draft right now. The way that I like to think of it, it really rewards a creative builder. Like, if you watch PBR, Amo uses it, fantastic. Like, Amo is why I want to try it. But I feel like if you just use it as, what's it called? Terra Starstorm spam, even then it's not bad. Like, it's still a good Pokemon. Metagross is going to be very pressured every week. Yeah, Skuntank did lose Defog, as far as I'm aware at least, unless they got it back in DLC 2. Gyapdos does do very crazy things to this team. So, it's a good team, obviously. Like, it's got a great team, in fact. Has everything that you really want. The big downsides are flying weak, limited rocking and removal options. Anything else? Is there anything else that we're not liking about this team? We don't rock with this team. Yo, how we doing, Zev? What's going on, man? We're doing all right. Getting through it, that's for sure. I'm next. I'm nervous. Oh, Faye goes. You might want to start saying some stuff about Draco's team then, so we don't move on yet. I've been using it, and I would say it's a fun mon. Positioning is easy with the mon. Yeah, that's a very good point. With Terapagos, positioning should be pretty easy. You slap boots on, and then you have your multi-scale, basically, right? And it's just a very good defensive Pokemon in general. The only real downside is no recovery. So unlike Dragonite that has multi-scale, they can abuse the recovery. Terapagos doesn't have it. But Terapagos' ability is a little bit better in the fact that it makes the moves not very effective. This team's some booty? No, this team is gas. Wait, we're talking about Draco's team. This team is gas. There's only 2 special attackers, and they're both walled by steel types. I guess that is fair. I was more so looking to see if they are special attackers rather than what they were walled by, but that is a fair point. Special attackers both walled by steels. I accidentally turned on caps lock for that one. That's fine. Trapinch being the ground is rough. That is true, but it's not like they're inherently weak to Volt Switch. They have Rillaboom, Kyurem. But I do agree that would be pretty bad for positioning, for sure. Oh, Draco's team is good. I was talking about the Phoenix team. No! All right, well, we've said enough about Draco's team here. All right, chat. On a scale of 1 to 10, what do we think of this team? I'm not going to say what I think, obviously, because that's going to be for the power rankings for Saturday. But I've already written it down. I'm curious to see what the general consensus is here. Terra Fire, Fire Blast Elements. True. Could also just be Terra Blast. Or I guess Flamethrower would just make more sense in that case, huh? 8.5. We got a 9, 7.5, 8.5, and 9. 9. Yeah, they do have coverage. It's just, SJ was more so saying, like, their primary stabs. Weaknesses are easy to prep around, 9.5. If you do not tell us, then why the stream? To weigh the pros and cons, because I got to go through and I got to do this anyway, right? I got to go through and write down the pros and cons on my own, so why not make a stream out of it? That way I can get your guys' opinions too, and you guys can see things that I won't see, right? Because I'm not going to spend too long looking at each of these if I do this on my own. I'll spend like 2 minutes looking at a team and then write it down. So I might as well get some extra eyes, some extra 50 pairs or 50 eyeballs on this, right? 8 out of 10. So it's a pretty consistent 8 or 9, it looks like. But we'll go ahead and move on to the Phoenix Moltres Fagos. I did already do this. I did this for Ting Lu and Chi Yu, not Wo Chien. I did not have enough time to do that. The stream was very, very long. But we move on to Fagos now. We've got Iron Valiant, Palafin, Lando T, Zapdos, Tinkaton, Terra Hydrapple, Registeel, Infernape, and Persian. 50 people to potentially hit that like button. 25 people, 50 eyeballs. That's so bad. What's bad about this? I feel like this isn't that bad. We got some Fagos haters in here. Oh, are these your goons, Fagos? That makes sense. That makes sense. I don't think this seems that bad. Palafin Zapdos core is a 100,000% win rate in JJDL right now. Anybody to draft it has won, I think, right? Or no, last season might have not won it. Fagos team's not that bad. I think they're just Fagos' friends. I think they're just haters. Sorry to hear that, Fagos. Sorry you got such hater friends. Big expectations with Palafin. I'm excited to see how you use Palafin, to be honest. Palafin's a Pokemon that I do want to try. I think it's really cool. 2 out of 10, 2 out of 10. So let's look at the positives and the negatives of this team, right? So what are we lacking here? We have 3 rockers, 4 rockers, all pretty solid. No removal Fagos. What are we doing? But it's not like you're weak to rocks. You're just gonna have a tough time against like Spike Stack. It'd be a little difficult for you. I agree. Registeel is super out of place. I would have liked to see a spinner in this slot, or something of that nature. I mean, this team in general is not really lacking too much. We have special breakers, physical breakers. We have momentum. Ground resist. Do we have ice resist for Lando? I will actually, you know what? I would love to see in the place of Registeel. I guess that doesn't really make a bulky water, because you're kind of weak to fire, right? You don't really have great fire resist. It's kind of just Palafin and Infernape, but you don't really love that. Take Terra out first and replace Steel with Serena. Oh, is Serena available? That could be interesting. I'd rather see what is going on. Get rid of Registeel Persian and maybe Infernape and get some removal and another general pivot. That's fair. I like offense and bulk pairing, but no great removal to stop T-Spikes, and Spikes hurt this team a lot. I do agree Spikes are definitely a big concern for this team. And if you ever run into somebody that has T-Spikes, something that I really enjoy against Iron Valiant specifically is bringing a Toxic Spike, because it really hinders it. Because you're not usually going to be Boots, right? You're going to want Booster or Specs, something like that. So having no grounded poison and no removal really limits you in those type of matchups. It really makes you very susceptible to T-Spikes, right? You don't really love that. But it's a good team overall. I don't think there's too much bad with this team. Let's see. Fagos. Major downside would be no removal. Lack of bulky water makes you extremely weak to fire. You have basically everything else you need, and all other roles covered though. So it's a good team. So chat, what are we thinking on scale of 1 to 10? Fagos, I want to know what you think of your team as well. I know you're here. What do you think of your team as well? I mean, I think it's a really good team. I think you did a good job. I mean, Iron Valiant plus Palafin obviously is ridiculous. What's going on, Armania? How you doing? Eight 8.5, 6.57, 8, 7, 7.5 with trades. 3 out of 10. 3 out. I'm glad we all collectively agreed in the shadows to go 3 out of 10. All right, looks like we have some Fagos haters, Fagos biggest haters, and then we have some people who like the team. I think it's fine. I like it. We'll move on though. We'll go on to team number 3. We'll go to Dan and the Blood Hungry Beeroofs. Let me make a note of this really quick. So we're going to have Latias, Tinglu, Bundle, Dirge, Fortress, Toxapex, Zapdos, Pheasantipity, Wuchien, and Terra Electrode, and that Latias is also going to be Terra. So I like Latias plus Tinglu a lot. I think that's a very good combo. And that Bundle's really good with this too, like Spike Stack, pivoting. Gotta go in a few, but I'm currently collecting and making the survey data look nice. Thank you so much, Clydes. This team is just 11 out of 10 doing having the division mascot. So true. Listen tonight when I'm done. Sounds good, Clydes. Thank you. But yeah, I like Latias paired with Ting Lu. I think this is a really good pairing. Obviously, Terra Latias is probably one of the best Pokemon on the board because of what we allowed and what we didn't allow. I do like bundle with this. I like the flip turn aspect. I like Dirge to be able to help break steals, be an unaware mon. The middle does seem kind of... I don't know. The middle seems kind of lackluster, right? It seems like a bunch of Pokemon that are there to wall, and it doesn't seem like you have a lot of ways to really do damage. It seems like you're kind of relying on Gyarados a little bit, which I feel like is something that Latias is really gonna not like. Real way to do damage is Gyarados. I really like Stack with Latias though. So I think that's my main concern with this team is putting damage on the board. I would say I don't like the only removal being Fortress. That's true. At least they have removal though, right? Like it's tough to get removal in this deck, and they have a spinner paired with Spike Stack, which I think is nice. The entire defensive core loses to a ground move aside from Big Woe Chisel. I mean, yeah, that is also true. Ground is very tough for this team. Ground is... Wow, we have some thoughts on this team. That's a great point though, SJ. It is just a team of Pokemon. I would say most of these are just teams of Pokemon. Gen 9 Toxapex is a fraud. I agree. What makes Terra Latias super good? I feel like I'm missing some info with it. So, Terra Latias is so good because the ability to change its type, it makes it so it's already such a versatile Pokemon, but it can change its type and be super adaptive to whatever matchup it needs. And like that's the same about all Terra Pokemon, right? But Latias has the tools to really take advantage of it. Compared to others, like it has Levitate, which makes it really good to beat Terra Steel, Terra Poison, right? It has coverage to beat what it doesn't like. Like as long as you have a way to break darks, then you could just be whatever type does best in the matchup, and you could be like Calm Mind Stored Power, Calm Mind Agility Stored Power, Roost. Like it just has really good tools to take advantage of whatever type does best in the matchup. Signed up for another Paldeadex draft league, may or may not get in, because downside I found recently is that you have to draft 11 Pokemon. That does kind of suck. That is a little bit outdated. It seems like a lot of mods that can clean, but not a lot of mid-game breakers. I agree. I think that's very true. Especially, Bundle is something that I very much so think is a late-game breaker, not a mid-game breaker. Does seem a little more on top of the... does seem a little bit more on the defensive side. I need more than a 5th grade reading level for this. Not a ton of breakers as well, like the setup sweepers. Latias love ground brings though. That is true. Breaks like steals and whatnot. He has 4 birds. Latias, Bundle, Gyarados, Pheasantipity. That is true. Terra Latias is insane, so it's automatically a good team. True. Terra Latias is so good, I'm gonna stop you right there. Fortress is the only removal. That would be a downside. I'd happily be proven wrong, but as of right now, I stand with my point that Latias is a huge fraud. I don't think so. I think with Terra, it's one of the best that we allowed. But I do think everybody's bringing up some good points. Weak to ground, doesn't have mid-game breakers. Only remover being Fortress is a little lackluster, but at least they have removal. I'll give them that much. My big concern is the mid-game breakers. But what do we think of this team, guys? Give me a scale of 1 to 10. What are we thinking of this team? Doesn't Skeletridge have a bird? That is true. He has a bird on his nose. I just won finals in OGDL based on off the back of Terra Latias. Like a 6, 7.5. Big discrepancies so far. 8.4 out of 10. Oh, Wo-Chien. Yeah. They got Wo-Chien. I forgot. 7 out of 10. Hard to break, but hard to deal with. That is true. Or hard to break, but hard to break with. Very true. 7.5. Fortress could be a bird inside of a fortress. No. No. Lottie makes it at least a 6. Without Lottie, it'd be like a 4.5, 5.5. I do agree. Without his best mod, it would be worse. 7 or 8 out of 10. 8. This is a very big discrepancy. You guys are not agreeing on this one at all. We got some big haters and some big lovers of this team. But, alright. Good to know. So, no matter what I choose for this team, nobody will... not all people will agree. Great. We'll move on now. We'll go to Anaheim Azumarill, Zach McBuckets, a longtime veteran of JJDL, of course. we are gonna have Gouging Fire, Corviknight, Clefable, Tera Regieleki, Keldeo, Sinasha, Crocodile, Avalugg Hisui, and Snorlax. If I see one more Gouging Sun, I think I went on this rant because I just uploaded my Gouging Fire video. I'm so sick of seeing Gouging Fire non-Sun teams. It blows my mind. I think you're not getting the most out of Gouging Fire, and it's not really a round 1 pick if you don't have Sun with it, or the option to have Sun, is where I stand. But I do like Gouging Fire. I like Gouging Fire plus Clefable. I know we have big Clefable haters in the chat, but I think Corviknight's a fraud this generation. I really do. 0 to 10 Tera Regieleki. I also think Tera Regieleki is a fraud as well. It's not nearly as good without Sun. I think that there's the option to have Sun lets you get the most out of Gouging Fire. If you don't have Sun, you don't have a big part of what makes Gouging Fire great, right? Like, you don't have to bring Sun every week. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying having the option to have Sun enables Gouging Fire tremendously. And that's what I like. He's running Sunny Day. Best use case for Clefable anyway. Ultimate Clefable hate. This is the 3rd time I saw this top 3 pick of Gouging Fire, Corviknight, and Clefable. Corviknight's great, I'm not biased. Someone that has been on a team without Sun is my kill leader and it's going to be in my finals. I'm not saying it's bad without Sun. I'm not saying it's not going to do good without Sun. What I'm saying is you're putting yourself at a disadvantage if you don't have Sun. If you don't have Sun, you're not getting the most out of Gouging Fire as to what you should be, and I don't even know if it's around. It's not an early round 1 pick in that case. I think it's a late round 1 pick. I'm an S tier Tera Regieleki hater. That thing is garbage. It is awful. I agree, but I do actually like it paired with Gouging Fire. It breaks the waters that Gouging Fire doesn't like. It's a good pairing in general. It has a speed tier that really benefits Gouging Fire. I like it. I think Corviknight's a fraud. I think there's a lot of better steals to pair with this team, but I do like the momentum that it provides on this team. I think Clefable's really nice next to Gouging Fire, having an unaware bot, having that fairy type for the dragons. I think it's really nice. Keldeo is also really cool for flip turn momentum. It baits in the water so you can get in a Lecky to break them. Otherwise, I think this top 5's pretty good together, but I do think Corviknight's a fraud. Excuse me, Corviknight's a fraud. We have a lot of rocking options. We have Crocodile, we have Clefable. Avalugg might get rocks, but I'm not counting it if it does. I don't know. This team just seems like a bunch of guys who are all right. It doesn't seem like a bad team. There's nothing inherently wrong with this team, but I do think there are teams better than this. What do we think, chat? This team is a region pivot. There was Slowking over Clefable, and this team is solid. Biggest Clefable hater in the world. No grounded poison, no poison, period. Yeah. We do have removal, though, with Corviknight that kind of mitigates that. We have Magic Guard Clefable that mitigates that. Gouging Fire does run boots a lot. I don't think T-Spikes is too big of an issue for this team specifically. The big mon that I think really hurts from that is going to be Keldeo. But otherwise. Unskippable 30-second ad. Look, man, I don't put them out. I just let YouTube do it. Sounds like you think it's a 5 out of 10. I don't think it's like mid. I think it's above average. Avalugg Hisui is a fraud. I don't know, but I'm not rocking with this one that much. It's weird. Sinasha does also hate T-Spike. I guess I was more so talking about the top 5 threats up here. The top mons that work well together. But yeah, I do agree. That's a good take there. Poison Tea, no good. So, team doesn't lack much, but it does struggle. I mean, I don't. It lacks, I guess, mid-game breakers. It has Keldeo, Crocodile, Sinistra. I don't know. Underwhelming compared to other teams. I think it's fine. Let's get a rating out of 10, chat. What do we think of this team? Tera Poison Table. I hope we never have Avalugg see the light of day. 5.5. 6.5 above average. Okay, that's fair. 6.5 is not bad. It's just mid and uninteresting. I think that is also where I stand as far as the descriptors for this. I don't think it's bad. I do think it's very mediocre, though. Hello, I'm new here. What was your favorite draft league team that you've ever built? What a great question. Nessa? I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. You let me know. But why don't we go ahead and hop on? Oh. I'm glad that didn't go through. because that had my prep on it for JJDL week 1. Why don't we go ahead and look at my favorite team I've ever drafted? What a fantastic question. Let's pull this up, huh? Nissa? Okay. Let's take a look here. I have a sheet here that has all of my teams I've ever drafted. And let's take a look here. Because I have some in mind. This team was fantastic. I won a draft championship. Bring Luminion to almost every game. Every game except 1, 2 it looks like. It was super fun. I really enjoyed that. But my favorite team... Ooh, that's a real thinker. That's a real thinker. I've drafted many teams. So I have a favorite team based on sentimental value, and I have a favorite team based on how good I think it actually was. This might be the best team I've ever drafted. Kieran Black, Aegis / Megalop, and that's Megalop with U-turn. Toxicity being in your top 10 kill leaders is crazy work. It went crazy early Gen 8. Pokey trips with it. What was with the back-to-back Garbodor picks? I think that was APA whenever we had more than one draft. Let's see. That's one of the best teams. My favorite team for sentimental value, though. Where is it? I know what I'm looking for here. This team's also crazy. Sally, Kieran Black, in Gen 7's insane. Mega Metagross was insane. We could do a whole... Nissa, you've opened up a big can of worms. I could do a whole stream just talking about this. This is probably my favorite team for sentimental value. This is where my Gliscor hate stems from. I hate Gliscor. I don't like it very much because I'm very bad with it. I dropped Gliscor like week 3, week 4, I guess, because they played 4 games for Lando. Such a better improvement. This was my redemption season for Mega Mawile. I really despised Mega Mawile up to this season. I tried it this season, and it put me on its back and carried me to a championship, and I believe that's still on the channel. That was like 5 years ago, though. Probably my favorite team. Yo, what's going on, Stefan? How you doing, man? This is the 4th time you brought Luminion to show and tell. Me and John has a good take. This is a very fun discussion. Thank you for bringing it up. I really appreciate that. This is also for anybody curious. This is like the list of my kill leaders so far. I haven't input like the last 4 leagues that I've done. So it's very possible that like Iron Moth could be bumped up a little bit because I've drafted a lot recently. Same with like Metagross. I've drafted it a lot recently as well. Weavile. Oh, Weavile would certainly jump up from GBU. I don't think I put GBU on this list. Weavile would probably be like above Toxtricity at this point. It had a lot of kills. But yeah, so... Why is Luminion good? What a question. Have you ever drafted Umbreon? Let's see. I've never drafted Umbreon. No. I've never drafted the mon that I hate on. What other mons do I hate on? Maybe I should give Umbreon a shot, right? Like, maybe I should try it. But why is Luminion good? So, Luminion's not good. And it pains me to say that. However, it was good on the team that I had. Where did it go? Is it? Yeah, here it is. It was good on the team I had. Because I literally, like, built things around Volcarona, if I remember correctly. And Omega Altaria. And there were, like, no removal in Gen 6. This was a Gen 6 team. There was, like, no removal. So I think Luminion was my sole defogger on this team. And I brought defog quite a bit. You hate Bramblegast. I forgot about GBU for your sake. Thank you, Anker. I appreciate that, man. But he's your Gen 9 draft league. Go, let's chill out. What is the lowest mon on that list? Fantastic question. The lowest mon is Ash Greninja. Oh, one of my first leagues I ever did. I drafted it and it didn't get a kill. It was brutal. I was just flailing around with the regular Greninja. I played it so poorly. It was tough. See you, Mountain Man. Thanks for hanging out, man. Actually, Landorus didn't get default till Gen 7 SJ. So it was tough. Got an Ultra Sun and Moon, I believe. Archeops might have had default though. Almost positive Landorus did not. Let me see. Now I'm curious. Archeops might have though. Archeops. Let me see. Archeops did have defog. Did Landorus and I'm a fraud? Landorus did not have defog, no. And I don't think Altaria did either. But that one I am not 100% confident in. No, Altaria did not either. Gen 6 was a wild time. One more question. What does it have to do with Wo-Chien? Nothing. But I enjoy this this discourse. I'm in the middle of my first draft league. The format is weird, selecting monsters from each tier list in NatDex AG. Oh my goodness. Currently, some members are Primal Groudon, Megalop, Iron Moth, Kartana, and Enamorus. Oh my goodness. That's not a bad team. That sounds crazy. Couching Fire Hail. I love going through this stuff. Thank you for bringing that up again. I really enjoy going through this stuff. But we'll go back to the show here. It's been fun so far. I only lost one match with it, and I'm in the finals. Well, good luck with that. That's awesome. That is awesome. All right, did we get a rating for Zach's team? I think we did. So we'll move on here. We'll go to that one guy in the Michigan Monetrix. We have Urshifu, Heatran, Lycan Dusk, Alomalula, Florges, Jolteon, Weezing G, Garchomp, Braviary, Brambleghast, and Tatsugiri. So this looks like I just won a Monotype League for my third league. Got me on Scarada Dark, so hoping it puts in work. I hope so, man. If you're doing a draft league and those weird rules, what would you seek for your team? Ugh. If it's NatDex, are Megas allowed in NatDex? I have an affinity for using the same Pokemon over and over, so it'd be like Mega Mawile, Hydreigon, Swampert. I'd have to see what the very top tiers are, but I would like find a way to build around top tier and Mega Mawile probably. Yeah, Megas are allowed. Yeah, so I'd probably find a way to build around top tier plus Mega Mawile, just because I love Mega Mawile so much. But yeah, casual round 8 Garchomp is insane. This does quite literally, though, look like Urshifu and Garchomp's daycare service, right? There's Heatran, and there's not a lot of ground counterplay. There's Weezing, Galar, and others that will not be named. And both of the top mons are weak to Fairy. You have Heatran as the sole Fairy resist. No, you have Weezing, Galar as well. I mean, it just looks like Urshifu, Garchomp, Heatran, and a bunch of mediocre Pokemon. Are Megas allowed Primal Groudon? Listen, man, I don't know. I don't do NatDex. How are you doing today? I'm doing well, Keen Sirius. How are you? Our Chomp is kind of boring, I will admit. Why do you like Mega Mawile so much? That team that I showed that had Mega Mawile where I dropped Gliscor, that specific league put me on Mega Mawile. It carried me so hard. And ever since then, it would always be there like 14th overall, like whatever pick I would have in round 1. So I've drafted it a lot. I have drafted it a lot. Let me see. No, not regular Mawile. I have drafted it 6 times, and I've brought it to 51 games. So it is, and it's second on my all-time kill. So it's a hard carry of John Jr. for sure. Team's already 10 out of 10. Terra Jolteon from my boy. What's wrong with Tatsu? Nothing's wrong with Tatsu. I love Tatsugiri. That's my guy. I was more so talking about a little somebody else. Why did you hate it before? Because I used it and was very bad with it. Let me see. One of my first leagues, it was this one. I used it. I lost 2 Sucker Punch Mind Games the first 2 weeks. Dropped it. Did not want to use it ever again. And then I tried it again and I loved it. It's so well. It feels like they have half a team. That is the statement I agree with. It's Urshifu, it's Garchomp, and then it's like Heatran. You're very pressured to bring the same Pokemon over and over, and then you're gonna have a lot of low tier threats. It looks like they were looking for low tier value, but forgot to get any mid tier value, right? You know what I mean? I'm doing it myself and glad I got shiny Mawile on Brilliant Diamond. That's awesome, man. Mawile is a fantastic shiny. Congrats to that. What is this doc that you use to keep track? It's a doc that I made, actually. Most of the stuff that I use is self-made. If people are interested, I can definitely drop it for people to use at some point. But I did in the past, and nobody used it, so I stopped supporting it. I stopped working on it. But all low tier removal. I mean, all low tiers in general, in my opinion. I don't know. What do we think, chat? Scale of 1 to 10, what would we give this? Would love to see it. If you shoot me a message last, I can send it to you. Or if chat wants, I can this whole sheet. I could just actually let me just share it with you. You know what? Let me just share it with you. You can just make a copy. In fact, if anybody wants to just take a look at it, whatever, feel free. Name is Shiny Mawile Molly and has an adamant nature. That's awesome. Round 4 Aloe is insane, clinically insane. Even the biggest Aloe fan, Denali, would agree with you there, Noah. $76 leagues. Oh, there's more for sure. What was the last thing I added? BBR season 7. Oh, classic. Oh. I filled out. Oh no, I didn't write down my JJDL season 2 stats. Replays got wiped for that, didn't they? Oh, I can copy them off the doc, I guess. Classic BBR season 7. So I guess 76 leagues is accurate then. 5.5 to 6. Aloe's the redeeming factor on this team. All right, when we start talking about Aloe being the redeeming factor, we have to move on. The next team's gonna be Aurora in the Santorini camera up. Sorry, everything just disappeared there for a second. Aurora, I know you're here. Let's gas up your team or hate on it. Dragapult Terra Hoop Unbound, my man. I love the direction this is going. Glamora 2. Oh. Primarina, Iron Crown, Kilo, Toad School Primate, Terra Cryugonal, the Dunsparce, and Phil the Cramorant. I love the top 3. The top 3 together, beautiful. Beautiful. I think these 3 work very, very well together. Even, I'll go as far as say the top 4. I don't have a solid opinion on Iron Crown yet. And I know you have Hoop Unbound, and you have a very big ghost weakness, but you patch it up with the Dunsparce, right? So it is what it is. It is free Terra preview. 2, 3, 4, and 5 are incredible. 2, 3, 4, 5. So you're a big Iron Crown fan, SJ. I don't really rate it yet. I don't really have an opinion on it very strongly either way. But I mean, I like the start of this team is really good, but then the rest of the team does kind of fall a little flat in my opinion. It feels like where you could have got some mid Pokemon, like some 12 pointers or something like that. Some people to support this. You got a lot of low tier options, so it's gonna be like a lot of these 5 every week, and then one of these. And it looks like it's gonna be the Dunsparce a lot because of how ghost weak this top part of your team is. But you have good speed tiers, you have good rockers, you have 2 removers. Good rockers. You have good hazards in general because you have spikes, T-spikes, rocks over here. Rocks on Primate too. I do think it's all right. I need a good defensive steel. Crown was an interesting option. Crown is interesting. Marshadow sweeps 3 out of 10. That's an interesting take in for sure. This team does use to loot turn is what I was about to say. Also, ghost weakness is fast. You try to patch him to done. Yeah, that's the only that's the big problem with the ghost weakness in my opinion. I hate Cryo with a burning passion. I say drop it and never look at it again. Why do you hate Cryo? I'm curious. Top of team is fantastic. Bottom of team feels kinda meshed together. Big ghost weakness. All right, team. All right, team. I said. All right, chat. Let's drop a number 1 through 10. What do we think of this team? Hoopa U is pretty good versus Ghost. That is like, it can switch in for sure. It's just more so, I guess you don't have the resist is what I'm not liking. But I guess it also depends on the Ghost, because if it's a physical Ghost, right, then it's not good versus Ghost. What sort of utility mon has 35 defense? Being weak to rocks and spinner does suck for sure. 8.96, 6 or 7, 7. There's a lot of discrepancy with this team. This team has a lot of all the way from. Was there a 5? No, all the way from 6 to 9. What do you think of your team, Aurora? I'm curious. I'm always curious to see what people who are in the chat think of their own team. 8 if Cryo's dropped, 5 if not. Drop Blom. Let's see here. Who's up next? We got SJM. Because I can't actually pronounce it, so that's what we call him. We'll go ahead and move on. I like my team a lot. We'll probably give it around 8.5. Well, hey, I mean, all that matters is that you like your team, right? At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what anybody else says. It matters if you like it and you can perform with it. That's what matters, right? So we'll move on to this team over here. I gotta say, I'm a big fan of this start. Tara Raging Bolt, Darkrai, Gliscor, Jirachi, Milotic, Serena, Urshifu Rapid, Slowbro, Galar, and Dachshund. This is a team. Gliscor is an L aside from that. Look, I also am a big Gliscor hater, but you have to admit the functionality on this team is very good. I would like to see a Ghost type on this team. I think is where I stand. You're going to be running... I mean, you could run Terra Ghost Raging Bolt to a Spin Block, right? But this team's fantastic. I think my biggest concern is that your remover is Serena. Can you look at my draft league team? Yeah, Jesse, send it over. I'll take a look. Terrabolt's a minimum score of 8. I agree. Milo is mid. Milo is kind of mid this generation, but, you know, as like a 5th round pick, it's whatever. Drifloom's like a sweeper. Drifloom's cool. Yeah. Milo is pretty fraud, but it's like, it's whatever. It's a round 5 pick. Rolls a dice for every team. The number it lands on is the Pokemon he hates from it. That is true, Eden. That is true. Fairy being Dachshund is kind of bad. Whoa! We're not going to spread any Dachshund slander in this stream. We love Dachshund in these doors. Only 1 mon above 100 speed. So that's a point that I would like to touch on. I agree, right? It is kind of bad, but with a team that can dish out this damage and be this bulky, it's not as big of a hindrance, I think, as it otherwise would be. You have also like you have very bulky mons, you have Wish Pass, you have Regenerator. It's not as big of a problem as I think it should be. And your 1 mon above base 100 is Darkrai, which is an elite speed tier. So it's not too crazy, in my opinion. It's not the worst. But that is a good point. That's a good shout. That is probably the biggest downfall of this team, right? I can actually give proper explanation for all the mons I hate on. SJ, I will need, by morning, a 3-page essay on why Clefable sucks. From you. Alomalola is better than Milo. I wouldn't say that. Maybe. I guess it depends on the context of the team. 2 Trick Room setters? Yeah, Trick Room. Slowbro Gal is a very reliable Trick Room setter. And then obviously Jirachi can't really go wrong. So, scale of 1 to 10, chat. What are we thinking of this team? And then while we're giving everybody a chance to do that, go ahead and leave a like on the stream. Helps support us a ton. Helps push us out into the algorithm. What are we sitting at right now? Let's see. We are sitting at 15 likes. We have 25 people. Why do we not have at least 20 likes? It's free. Just go down there. Hit that like button. Helps us out a ton. Helps the community out a ton. Helps push us out and lets more eyes see us, right? So if we get 20 likes, it'd be fantastic. We have 8.5, 8.5, 9, 9, 8.5, 9. Fantastic. Thumbs, I agree. Big old thumbs. Big old thumbs up. And then while we're talking about it, did you guys know that for as low as 99 cents a month, you too can become a Snom Jr, Snom channel member, and you can help support me directly. You get some cool emotes. If you got those emotes, go ahead and put them in chat. Show them what they're missing out on. The major flaw of this team is the lack of speed, but Darkrai is elite, so it might not matter. This is a very good team. I do agree. There's those beautiful emotes. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Some really cool emotes, and we got more on the way. Bernardo and Gengar wave as well. So we got some really cool stuff coming up. All right, we are halfway through. We have Namaro and the New York Cosmox. We've got Terra Superior, Alolan Ninetales, Blaziken, Andy Shocks, Earthworm, Noivern, Tentacruel, Lokix, Reuniclus, and Minior. So I did already look at this team, and this team to me is the definition of the underrated Pokemon that nobody believes in. Superior is super hated on. Everybody told me I overpriced it. Blaziken's super hated on right now, right? Nobody's really drafting Reuniclus at the moment. Ninetales is thought to be a fraud in some instances, maybe not so much this generation because of the snow buff, but it's a bunch of underrated ragtag guys here to prove something, right? Yeah, that's also a good point, SJ. Breaking is lacking, but the whole team does love Veil. Because Blaziken does have speed boost, that's why it's 17 points, yep. That is why it's 17 points. Not the craziest team. Oh, did you have to prep for this? Was this your week 1, I'm assuming? Wait, are you in this division, Claes? Ninetales is gas? Of course it is, Jesse. No, you're not in this division. I like this team. It has an absurd amount of mons I want to draft. It's a bunch of cool guys spliced together. And it's like, I don't think the team's bad. It doesn't, like, what's it lacking? We got good speed tiers. Noivern to Serp to Andy Shocks to low kicks. Like, we've got good speed tiers. We got Hazards, Andy Shocks, Earthworm. We got Removal, Tentacruel. Is that it? That might be it. I have Alpha in week 1, and while it's not that great, it's so bad to prep for it. I'm happy you pressed Alolan Night test correctly. I've seen so many times. Alolan does 15 points? Oh my goodness. Where are the threats? So that would be the major concern, right? There's not that many offensive threats. It's low kicks, Blaziken. Like, there's nothing that is an immediate threat, really. I love this team. It's got a ton of mods that just barely can't get KOs, but are incredibly powerful, but it's facilitated with Earthworm and Andy Shocks, Alolan Tails, and Tentacruel. I will say the fact that this does have Veil does kind of help the fact that the rest of the mons do not have the ability to pick up the Okos that they want. There's a lot of guys I like, but it's lacking start power. That's a great way to put it. That's a great way to put it. What if we had to give this in Morrow? Bunch of underrated guys. If we had to give this a rating on a scale of 1 to 10, what are we thinking? Better pivots, you can't properly use your sweepers. That's true. Did Blaziken keep U-turn? I think it did. Volt switch Andy Shocks, U-turn Noivern, U-turn low kicks. I mean, it's got fine pivots. Flip turn Tentacruel. It's got 5, actually. 6 if we allow Shed Tail and Earthworm. Thoughts? They got teamwork so they can win. Wise Mini or 5? Are you saying it's overpriced or underpriced? It got stored power this gen? I don't know. That's one of the mons that I kind of took the pricing from BBR and didn't really move it because I don't really know too much about it. But it does seem kind of underwhelming in my opinion. Underpriced? I guess we'll see. I think it's kind of bad. Veil's the only 7.5 because I like it, otherwise a bit less. Yeah, but the pivots all die to Drop Bomb Gust with the bulk they have. Hey man, don't disrespect Andy Shocks. I'm not gonna say you're wrong about the other ones, but got 7, 7.5, 7. Looks like we're pretty in unison for a 7. Looks like we're pretty in unison for a 7. Alright, well we've got 8 teams left. We're at the halfway point. Again, if you have not already, be sure to leave a like on the stream. It's absolutely free. Help us out a ton. We're at 18 right now. We can get to 20, man. We got 21 viewers. We should get to 20. 9.2. Also, Shed Tail opinion is 100% allowable and draft doesn't feel broken. I think it's more so the fact that it's uncompetitive. I think Subpass is super uncompetitive, in my opinion. Maybe it's because I'm old and I started playing Pokemon in Gen 6, or started playing competitive in Gen 6, so it's always been seen as broken, but I think it's uncompetitive. Like a 2.5 or a 3? Oh my goodness, Armania, an absolute hater. Next up we have Mountain Man. We have Hydreigon, Annihilate, Excadrill, Sylveon, Ogerpon, Cornerstone, Ironmot, Ambipom, Blastoise, Vikavolt, Seviper, and Morgrem. 7 should be the average. Worst team should not be below a 4. I actually think the worst team I rated was a 4. Funny you say that. I reckon we allow last respect so Umbreon is viable. Interesting take, Eden. No. Did we skip SJ? Alright. We'll talk about SJ. We got Dio Speed, Roaring Moon, Iron Hands, Impo, Terra Pecharunt. That's actually really cool. I didn't know you had that. Landorus, Grimmsnarl, Terradozo. He was in my ear about Terradondozo the whole draft. And then Cricket to him. So, I mean, nobody's going to know this team better than SJ. SJ, I saw you flaunting about how this team was had its weaknesses. And you were really showing what weaknesses it had. So if you want to elaborate right now, now's your time. You can let us know what the weaknesses and the strengths of your team are. Because I know you're very opinionated. So we'll see it. So this is the other team, but with star players and not like new team. Oh, the Mountain Man. Its pieces are bad. Its offense is good. Only things are Veil and Hazard stacking. I definitely wasn't rocking with that one. I mean, hey, you're entitled to your opinion. Like, that's fair. So, okay, so basically, if someone gets a ground move, I lose. Let's just validate that really quickly. Huh. That... Yeah, that's brutal. That's brutal. I think the only problem I have is no removal. Otherwise, the team is fantastic. After this, mind if I put my own teams up? It's regular Paldea Extra. Yeah, if you throw it in JJDL General, I can take a look after we finish this if you remind me. I also have no hazard removal. My Terra Caps are not as strong as some of the top tier ones objectively. I mean, that's fair. 4 or 5 out of 10? I don't think it's that bad. I think Geospeed stack with Roaring Moon plus Hands is really good. You have very resistant Napoleonic Petrarch. I think Terra Petrarch could be really, really nice. Obviously, you do have a large ground weakness, but if it's Earthquake, you can switch in Dozo. If it's Earth Power, you can switch in Roaring Moon. I don't think it's that bad. But I like it. And hey, that's what matters, right? That's what we care about. Mamo goes Burr. Let's... Dozo exists, though, right? You know what I mean? Like, Dozo actually really checks Mamo. Freaking is my favorite 1-point pick. BGC, do I got some good news for you? Tune into the draft stream on Sunday. You're going to love it. I think this team gives me a lot of versatility to cook up some spicy stuff. Well, chat, SJ gave us his reasons. I feel like anything I say cannot really add to what he says. I feel like he knows his team better than anybody, right? So, what do we think of this team on a scale of 1 to 10? This is the first time I've seen it. So, loses to ground move, has decent pivots, breakers, and hazards, lacks removal. Oh, I just opened Photoshop. Everything's about to crash. I'm so sorry. No hazard removal is horrible. Pieces range from alright to pretty good. That is true. If you're a Dio Speed hater, you're not going to like this team. Oh, I'm a Dio Speed hater, but I like the rest of the team. So 7, 7.5. Looking at this team, I changed the other one from a 9.2 to 8.75. Make this a 9.5. Wow. No hazard removal, 9.1. Alright. And some cool critters. So I'm going to say 8.7. 7. SJ, looks like you hated your team a little bit too much compared to everybody else. Don't you guys be nice because SJ is here. Let him have it, man. Tell him how you feel. Give him a 3. 1 out of 10. There we go. 1 out of 10. That's what I'm talking about. 6.9. Thank you, Jesse. I really appreciate that. That really helps us out. 6.25. Okay. All right. We'll move on, SJ. It looks like everybody liked your... Literally everybody liked your team more than you, except Lost. 5 is too harsh for this team. It's not that bad. Yeah, it's not that bad. There are definitely weaknesses, but it's not that bad. Excuse me. We'll move on now to Mountain Man. We've got Terra Hydreigon. I mean, I already said this team. Excuse me. So, I like this team. There's a lot of good parts about this team. And then there's some parts about this team that I'm not quite a big fan of. The first of which is Terra Hydreigon is your best Pokemon. Debatably. Or Annihilate or Excadrill, depending on how you look at it, right? One of these 3 is your best Pokemon. And it's not Excadrill because there's no sand. So, it's either Annihilate or Hydreigon. And Hydreigon has Terra, so it's probably that Pokemon, right? That's probably not something that should be your best Pokemon, in my opinion. And I love that Pokemon, but it's not as good as you want it to be this gen. Probably shouldn't be your best Pokemon. Not a big fan of Excadrill without Sand. I do like the pairing of like Iron Moth with these Pokemon, though. I think the Fairy Breaker is really, really nice. Excadrill with Hydreigon is really nice. I wish that we would have seen some Sand instead of Morgrem, Seviper, Vikavolt, Ambipom. I feel like these guys are very random. And I'm also not huge on round 4 Sylveon. Excadrill with no Sand is like gouging with no Sun. I think it's worse, to be honest. I think Excadrill is a lot less usable without Sand than Gouging Fire is without Sun. Like 100%. Oh, we have a Seviper hater in the chat. Mountain seems very good if you get the webs up and your opponent doesn't have any removal or boots, which seems unlikely. I guess that's true. I guess webs can definitely help. Speed tier is another thing, right? We got 2 110s. I don't necessarily think you need webs, but I do see where you're coming from. Like, enabling these with webs is very, very good. I think more so the idea that he was going for is like webs plus best spin blocker, remover blocker in the game besides Goldengo. Is more so the idea here. Do not compare Pookie Fire to Fraud Cadrill. That's a sentence of all time. Terra Vikavolt is super cool. I like Terra Vikavolt. I just don't think it was necessary. I don't like the Terra Hydreigon as the first overall pick. I like Terra Hydreigon. I just don't like it as the first overall pick. Execute wasn't good offensively without sand, but it's good for fairy and electric still. You got spin, you got rocks. That's true. It is like a good defensive piece, I suppose. One Tin is fine if you have real priority and this team doesn't. Quick Attack Sylveon. And Quick Attack Ogerpon, actually. And Aqua Jet Blastoise. And Fake Out Ambipom. Take that, buddy. If we go off the order, it was drafted and missed potential drill without even a Hippopotas. And it's like 4.3, but if you read the team as a whole, then 7.9. What's been the worst high tier Terra you've seen? What's the cutoff for high tier? And do you mean that I've seen in JJDL drafted or that I've seen used? The bulk of this team is pretty underwhelming. Offense is good, but not amazing. So slow is not something I personally like. That's fair. Everybody plays differently. 6.75 maybe? Alright, yeah, go ahead, chat. Let me know what you guys think of this team on a scale of 1 through 10. Why am I getting pinged? Oh, wait, chat, this is very important. Let me see if I can pull this up. Hold on, last, I'll answer your question in 1 second. Let me see, this is very important. Uh-oh. We're gonna take a brief intermission to watch my friend Shmigo Higo play a game. We're gonna hate on him live. Properties, hold on. Here we go. We're gonna hate on him live, boys. I know nothing about Gen 3 and I'm doing this tour for Keegan. There's probably gonna be a video on it. I made brackets somehow. And Keegan's a big Gen 3 guy. He's 2013 YouTuber. ADV, this is Emerald Open. I tried it. Gotta say, really dislike ADV. Strongly dislike it. I can see why people like it. Not for me at all. Keegan, ooh. So wait, let me see what your question was last. Let me go back. Both above 17 with Terra. So my least favorite mon that I've ever... I'll answer it in 3 parts. My least favorite mon I've ever used with high tier Terra is Regieleki. I do not like it. It's not a mon for me. I understand why it's good, but I think it's a little overrated, and I don't think it is a mon that I am good with. Mon that was drafted above 17 in JJDL? Honestly, I'm not sure. Let's go back really quickly. Didn't someone take Terra Meowscarada? I mean, that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. I'd say I think Terra Meowscarada was taken. I'd say probably that is my least favorite that's been taken. And then as far as... What was the last part? I've seen worst high tier Terra I've ever seen used. I mean, that answer might still be Regieleki just because of how poorly I used it. I think it was very bad. Alright, Keegan's taking a little bit too long, so tell you what. We'll continue doing what we're doing, but to not lose interest of viewers, we are going to just put this bad boy on the side as we continue this. Oh, where did this go? Live battle not me. Here we go. We're just gonna put this on the side as we continue doing what we're doing. Everybody, be sure to watch this in the corner down here, though, and be sure to spread the Keegan hate. The agenda's real. There we go. All right, we're gonna go ahead and hop back into this. Oh wait, how do we do this? Hold on, chat. I'll fix this. Live battle, not me. You know what? I clearly don't know what I'm doing. Keegan Love? Absolutely not. Okay, hold on. Go to this. Then we'll go to that. There we go. We fixed it. I know what I'm doing. All right, we'll go back to this over here now, and we'll move on over here to the Halifax Mallahheads. Eden, what is your name? What does that mean? What is the sentence that means? So, professional streamer, man, exactly. So, your John base team. This is quite literally John the movie. We got John Curum Black, John Dingo, John Durace. That sounds a lot like a sickness. Moose heads, mole heads, mola heads, like a Loma Lola. Of course, your mascot is a Loma Lola. That's disgusting. So with this team, let me write this down. I'm the biggest Curum Black fan in the world, but I'm not a big fan of it being your best mon. And I think that Goldingo, Curum Black works very well together. I like Cinderace to break the steals, and Nam, like the top 4 you've got's very good, but I don't think any of them are best mon on team option, right? And why is everybody drafting Terra Zarude? I don't get it. What is the purpose? Goldingo spot 0 out of 10. Are there any things on restrictions on Curum? So there is no Dragon Dance. No Dragon Dance. Is KB a round 1 pick then? I don't think Curum Black's a round 1 pick this generation, in my opinion. Even though it is quite literally my favorite Pokemon. Like, look around, look at the channel. It is my favorite Pokemon. Everything is based around Curum Black, Pokemon Black and White too. I don't think it's a round 1 pick this generation though. With no Dragon Dance, of course. Oh, and it is Terra Band too, yeah. I've used it in Torn Unsold, and I sold it on Eden on it too. Listen, man, I want to try it. I do want to use it this gen. I just would never use it as my number 1 option, unfortunately. Terra Glaceon is pretty underrated. It's got base 130 special attack. Terra Glaceon's definitely usable. Like, you Terra Ground, you Terra Fire, break the steals. It's got coverage then. Thwacky so I don't explode to grounds when I Terra Zarude. How many times are you bringing Thwacky, Eden? But so what's the deal with Terra Zarude? What am I missing on Terra Zarude? Look at its stats and it gets recovery. Curum Black does not get recovery this generation, actually. Curum Black lost Roost. That's one of the big things, in my opinion, that made Curum Black worse. Unless you were talking about Thwacky for some reason. Which you could have been. Oh, Terra Zarude! Terra Zarude! Let me look at its stats, actually. I don't know if I could ever say that I've looked at Zarude's stats. Let me pull it up on my phone real quick. I actually cannot tell you if I've ever looked at Zarude's stats in my entire life. And it was base 105 speed. That's about all I know. 105 HP, 120 attack, 105 defense, 70 special attack, 95 special defense, 105 speed. I did not know it was a base 600 Pokemon. I thought it was 570 like Urshifu. Wow, those are some pretty good stats. All right, maybe this mon's the truth. I don't know. Has SD now too. I did know that it had SD. I've seen a lot of SD Trailblaze sets. But no coverage in draft. It has no coverage at all. I mean, Zarude does have close combat, right? So it hits the seals. If you're talking about Zarude. And now if it's Terra, it has Terra Blast. So it has pretty much whatever coverage you want. Eden's definitely cooking with this. We see a lot of difference of opinion here. A lot of hate, a lot of love of this team. Boys, what do we think overall? Eden, I want you included on this. Scale of 1 to 10, what do we think of this team? What do we think of this team? This team is simply, I'm going to click buttons on your forehead. That's definitely a way to explain it. I also, the one thing that I will say I don't like about this team, you have Goldingo, you have Curum Black, you have everything in your power to draft a Spike stack team, and yet there is not a Spike on this team. And that makes me very sad. Because I think Spike plus Goldingo, Curum Black, oh, that sounds so fun. I would love to play Spike stack Curum Black Goldingo. 8.5. Alright, Eden thinks 8.5. 8.5 from Armania. Double grass. Well, yeah, but one of them is Terra, so that's not that big of a deal. The way I drafted with Terra, at least, is like you don't really look at it as a typing. You know what I mean? Like, because you're gonna Terra out of it anyway, probably. At least you should, right? In most matchups. Getting upgrade to the Dark Stab Knock and getting Terra Blast seems pretty good to me. That's true. Needs Quillfish. Ah, I like Quillfish. Lab out with a couple of transactions, but right now 7. I hate Spike Stack, and I won't become what I hate. I mean, I gotta respect someone who stands on their morals, right? I can't hate on that. team's a 10 out of 10. Let's move on. Next up, we got Dix and the Galate. Yep. Meowscarada, Iron Shreds, Terra Enamorous Therian, Slowking, Komao, Cleavor, Lurantis, Alolan Muck, Incineroar, Rotom, and Terra Stonjourner. Terra Stonjourner? Is he cooking? Chat, is he cooking? Does he know what he's doing? Next up, we got who? We got Dix. I hate Terra Gold, but Gold has an amazing typing. Is it worth to keep it? Terra? Ooh, so I wrote down a little bit of the ratings for these power rankings, and one of my notes for someone who had Terra Gold Dingo was I love Gold Dingo's typing typically. I understand why it could be so good with the Terra Captain, but Ghost Steel is one of the best type combinations in the game, so it's very hard to Terra out of that in my opinion. But obviously, like, there's definitely use cases. So I don't know. I think you'd have to go matchup to matchup to really find that, in my opinion, if that's worth it or not. I'm sorry, but it's in the name team as Dix. That's so mean. He was molding over getting Glaceon sniped and with Stonjourner. Stonjourner's definitely a Pokemon. So this Pokemon has no first option. I don't even know if I would count Meowscarada. I'm a Meowscarada hater. I don't even know if I'd count as a great second option. I like Enamorous Therian as Terra. That is a mon that I was hoping got drafted as Terra, because I think that it could be really good with Terra. But it seems just a bunch of mediocre guys, and there's Lurantis mixed in there for some reason for good measure. But you do have like good rocking options, right? Not a remover in sight. Oh no, Iron Shreds. I literally highlighted it. You have a great remover. Ignore what I said. You have Spike Stack. I don't know. The team's like very, very falls flat at the top. Meow is a fun second one, not a first for sure. You shut your mouth. That kitty is a good kitty. Maybe I'm biased because I don't like cats, but the team is a bunch of guys, not pals. True. Lurantis is also a remover. Maybe. You might be right.
Somebody sign me.
That's an interesting one. I don't know if I'd count it. But... oh, Cleavor is a remover, though. That is a good point. My bad. Oh, yo, thank you so much, Pokemon Department, for subscribing. I really appreciate that. What about Zaba? Let me show you what I think about Zaba. Say hello to chat. Gotta look. Okay. Say hello to chat. They like you. Don't forget who owns you, though. Don't forget who feeds you. Don't look at me like that. You got anything to say? No? They're saying hello, Zaba. Nothing. Alright, get out of here. Go. Shoo. Shoo. He's just chilling now, I guess. He's gonna be here. John dodging all my good takes. Let me see. What'd you say? As someone who drafted me out twice and has 35 kills, you are tripping. That mon sucks. I haven't been proven wrong yet. Sure, gotta play off a match. Good luck, Winter. Or yeah, Winter. Hope you do well. Zaba's cute official channel mascot? Absolutely not. And what is happening with the dog? I don't think we're gonna get the dog, unfortunately. We waited too long. They probably don't even have them anymore. I've been trying to not think about it because I really want it, but I don't think it's the right time. It's just too many random Pokemon. I agree. It's a lot of random Pokemon. And around 7 Lurantis. What do we think of this on a scale of 1 to 10? What do we think of this on a scale of 1 to 10? What's happening with the Keegan game, by the way? Has anybody been watching? 5.5. Definition of decent, 5.5. 6, 5.5. I have so much beef with YouTube, these double ad rules, no skips. I put it on moderate ads, too. That's weird. The Keegan game has been slow. Welcome to Gen 3. Oh, it looks like it paused. There we go. Nope. What's going on? It freezes? This is annoying. Alright, well, we're done with... Oh, there it goes, I guess. Do I have to have it pulled up? That's annoying. Yeah, it looks like I have to have it pulled up. We'll, yeah, we'll forget about the Keegan game. Unfortunate. Alright, we'll move on. We have Zom here, the previous champion the previous season. We got 2 champions from last season in this division. Torn T, he was trying to convince me in DMs that Ogerpon Wellspring was broken and should not have been allowed and should have been banned, or at least max Terra points. So he took it round 2, because I assured him it would not be taken by anybody. Because it wasn't taken in any other division, I think. Scizor, Yuxi, Diancie, Cyclizar, Overquill, Mamoswine, Terra Raichu, and Tauros Paldea. Wow, this is so mediocre. Tornadus, Ogerpon, Scizor is really cool, and then it's just a bunch of dudes. Can't Terra Wellspring only be water? Yes, it can only be water. That's one of the reasons why I don't think it's absolutely broken. I disagree that Ogre is broken, and the fact that you think it is broken or it is not. Oh, it is good but not broken. Gotcha. Like top 3 is cool, and then it's just a bunch of dudes, fellas. You got rocks, you got spikes, you got removal. I don't know why I highlighted Yuxi on the spikes. That was an accident. It's Overquill. Removal. You got good speed tiers, 121, 110, 121 again. Why do you have Cyclizar and Tornadus? That is goofy. Wait, why does he have Cyclizar and Tornadus? That is goofy. Cyclizar is just budget Tornadus. That is so goofy. I'm on my Cyclizar hater arc? No, I love Cyclizar. I just think having it and Tornadus is redundant. They do the same thing except one spins and one is good. Terra Ogerpon is very strong. Not having a different Terramon is bad. Hey man, he got Raichu. I don't know. This team's super mid. Wow, this team is like very, very mid. Very mid. 3 good Pokemon. You cover roles, but what do you really cover? Lots of momentum. Good stack. Cyclizar plus Tauren is very weird. Very mediocre team in my opinion. What do we think, chat? Scale of 1 to 10. Non-bulky Regen Core Fire. Let's go. Bro thought Yuxi got Regen for sure. This team also doesn't have a switch into any move. Very true. And the offensive mon is also true. I think there's 2 good offensive mons in Mamo and Scizor. What's Ogerpon's attack? I might be underrating Ogerpon. Is it 120? If it's 120, then he's got 3 good offensive Pokemon. But they're all physical. Either way. It is 120. 3 good attackers, they're all physical. The more we talk about this team, the worse I think it is. Sorry, not necessarily attackers, but immediate physical breakers. This team is not it. Yeah, I don't... 3? You know what this team loses to? Drafblom. Dondozo. Yeah, this team actually would be quite literally the definition of a team that loses to Dondozo. The only saving grace would be Torrentaunt. But even then, you could go like Terra Electric to really ruin Torrent's day. In fact, you probably would go Terra Electric to ruin Torrent's day. Alright, we'll move on here. We got 3 teams left. This team, that team really does get more mid the more you look at it. Yo, Jesse, if you're here, let's zombie. You know what? Hold on. I gotta chat with the zombie right now. How is your JJDL team so mid? That is, it's crazy. It's crazy. This is my week 1 matchup. Don't leave the tech. Hey man, sorry about that. If I actually said which set you're bringing, that's my bad. How many more teams? We got 3 more teams. 3 more teams. The next one's gonna be Khan. We got Latios, Quaquaval, Screamtail, Ursaluna, Magnezone, Garganacl, Muck, Arboliva, Masquerain, Weavile, and Oricorio. So this team's not bad. I really like Weavile plus Latios. It's a very big old head core. I like Quaquaval. I think Screamtail with Wish Passing is pretty cool. You got Rocks. But I do think there are a whole lot of Mons, all of these guys, where it's like, why did you draft them? That could be so many points put into something else. You know what I mean? Terra Weavile, I think Terra Weavile is really cool. You Terra Fighting, what switches into that? There's literally not a Pokemon that switches into Dark, Fighting, and Fighting. I don't think there's a single Pokemon that resists those 3 types. Could be very wrong. But off the top of my head, I can't think of a Pokemon that resists those 3 types. Genuinely, I don't think so. Genuinely don't think so. All those mid-low tier mons are actually good. But it's like, you could actually get Pokemon with these, you know what I mean? Like, we just have a bunch of guys that you don't really want to bring, but you're going to have to because you only have 5 real Pokemon. The more that we move on in this gen, I'm also very biased because I think picking 11 Pokemon, using all of your points for 11 Pokemon, is bad. I think you're always at a distinct disadvantage if you get 11 Pokemon, in my opinion. I think you can easily fill the roles with 10 Pokemon or even 9 Pokemon. So I think spreading it thin and leaving points on your bench is not my favorite thing. So let me write down Khan. Okay. I've drafted Muck, Arboliva, Masquerain, and Oricorio before. I've drafted Muck, Oricorio. I might have drafted Masquerain too. Let's just see. Let's just see. Masquerain. I have never drafted Masquerain. Have I drafted Arboliva? I don't think so. No, definitely not. A lot of missed opportunities for better mons. I agree. That Sun team with spec is unreal. We'll get to that. It is very good, though. Masquerain Terra is kind of scary. He's not Terra Masquerain, though. But I agree, it would be scary. I agree, I was planning on getting only 9 out of 10 in Paldea Dex League, but I have to draft 11. Budgeting going to be tough. It is going to be tough. It is going to be tough. What do we think of this this team chat? Scale of 1 to 10? I do think Masquerain with Terra does have value, but this one does not have Terra. I actually really like this team aside from Garg. Big Garg hater. SJ, Eden said it earlier. I don't know if you've had a team yet that there was not a Pokemon you did not dislike from it. I think you're just a general hater. 6.5, 8, 7.5. I think you're just a hater at heart. Alright, we've got 2 teams left, and one of them is a team that everybody was raving about. Everybody loves this team. Okay, John, tell me. Go ahead. What is Garg? I didn't say Garg was great. I think Garg is fine. I just think in draft specifically, it's not very great. I think it's very easily preppable in draft. I think it's fine. I think it's a good defensive Pokemon if you don't rely on Salt Cure. And it could force prep with Covert Cloak. So I think it's fine. I do think it's fine. But it being not Terra and having the rock typing is obviously a hindrance. Okay, we'll move on here. We'll move on to the team that everybody likes. We have Thriller's team. Tusk, Spec, Chi-Yu, Crest, Torkoal, Wake, Terra Rotom Fan, Terra Cresselia as well. Excuse me, Venusaur, Smeargle, and Tropius. It's hard not to like the team Sun Threat with the horse button click button. So this team is deadly. Offensively, Great Tusk, Spectrier, Chi-Yu, Wake, and the Sun is stupid. I have already looked at this team. It's very good. It's one of the best rated teams. My main gripe with this team was the fact that, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't say. Maybe I should save it for the stream. Nah, you know what? I'll save it for the stream. I want to see what you guys think, actually. Sorry, Thriller. You're going to get paywalled. You got to be there Sunday, buddy. Or tomorrow. Sorry, tomorrow. No, I got the day wrong twice. Saturday. You got to be there Saturday for the power rankings. Spectrier might be top 5 boring mon to exist. No, I love Spectrier. You should allow Smeargle to run last respects. Absolutely not. Just for Thriller. Absolutely not. There is one thing that I think is a major hindrance to this team, but I think aside from that, this team has very few weaknesses, and it's going to be very difficult to compete with. So, what do we think of this team? Scale of 1 to 10, chat. So I think this team, very, very good. Terra Crest is also, it could be very scary. Obviously, Taunt still stops it, but so many breakers to abuse the things it doesn't like, right? And Terra Rotom Fan is this, whatever. It's Terra Rotom Fan. I'm going to be honest, and this is a hot take. We have 9.5, 9.59. I'm not a big fan of Thriller Team. Well, tell us why. You can't just say that and then not give a reason. You got, obviously, there's got to be some logic behind it. So let's see. 9.5, 10. I mean, everybody's in agreement except you. So I'm very curious to see the haters' perspective of this team. This is the best draft in this div thus far, easily. I'm not gonna comment on that, but probably there were some good teams in this div though. There were like 3 that I think were like top tier for sure. Like will probably be top 10, at least top 15. At least 3 of them. Which I mean, statistically, there's probably going to be 3 of each div in the top 10, right? You would assume. Terra Crest hate aside, it has 1 mode. Really? I don't think so. Like, let's pretend right now. Whoop, we just took away the sun. You still have Great Tusk, Spectre, Chi-Yu outside of the sun. Spadef check? Boom, doesn't matter. You have a Great Tusk. On Sun Team probably want more momentum. That's a fair thing to say. I do think that is a very, like, all of these top mons do really enjoy momentum into them. So the only momentum is what? Wake, Rotom Fan? So that's a fair take for sure. Don't know if I saw Draco's. Let's just mosey on over there. It's this Terapagos team right here. It's this Terapagos team over here. But yeah, I think the needs more momentum. That's a fair shout. That is definitely a fair shout out. And then we got one more team. Bear with us, boys. Low skill, disgusting Pokemon. Lunar Dance Cresselia is also a form of momentum. I mean, I guess so, yeah, but you probably don't want to Lunar Dance your Terra Pokemon very often. But you could, because you got some very good options here. Maybe he brings it all 8 weeks just to prove me wrong. Who knows? But the last team that we're going to talk about is going to be Onkar, which I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. We have Ursaluna Bad Manners. We got Slowking Galar, Grin, Regidrago, Terra, which I'm so excited for. This is one of my favorite mons with Terra, like on paper. So ironic because I hate Regieleki. Love Terra Regidrago. Skarmory, Hatterene, Terrakion, Alolan Sandslash, Haunter, Dipplin, and Crocalor. So I think Terra Sandslash is interesting next to Slowking Galar. I think Ursaluna Bad Manners could be pretty cool. I don't have a super solid opinion on it yet, but I know it is pretty good from my little amount of prepping with it, or prepping against it. We have Grin. There's Protein of Battle Bond. We have Terra Regi. Like it's good. Like these 3 right here, I really like a lot. You have Spike Stack with Terra Ursaluna Blood Moon. I guess the big thing would be like Speed Tiers, right? What mod does SJ hate on this team? Oh, you like every mod on Thriller's team, even Tropius. Okay. In my honest opinion, and this is a hot take, Ursa Blood Moon is a top 3 mon in this dex, and it isn't 2 or 3? No! That's the... I mean, I will say that there is a lot of room for debate, in my opinion, on the 17 and 18 pointers as to what the top 5 Pokemon in the format are. I think there's a lot of room for debate. I don't think there's too many, like, opinions that are incorrect. That is the first time I've heard somebody say Ursaluna Blood Moon, no Terra, is the best Pokemon in the format, though. That's crazy. I haven't heard that. I think it's very good. I don't think it's the best Pokemon in the format. There are other people who think the exact opposite, Eden, who think it is not the best Pokemon on a team. He needs to take his meds and get to bed. Ursa Blood Moon is overrated after using it last season with Terra. It's a top mon, but without. My normal pills are down the drain. It's not the best mon, but it's very underrated. It's such a polar. It's interesting. It's super polarizing. I've seen so many different opinions on it. Not quite sure how I feel about it just yet. I don't really have a super strong opinion, but we'll see. What do we think of this team? Scale of 1 to 10, chat. I'm honestly not sure. I think it's definitely above average. Yeah, my stream crashed for a second, lost. I'm sorry about that. Haunter and Below kind of ruined it for me. That is true. These three could definitely be somewhere else. But it's like, if you ignore these and you just take all of these Pokemon, then it's a good team, right? No, I did not end the stream again. I did not end the stream. 8 out of 10. I like it, but it feels like it's missing something. I agree. I think the something it's missing is, like, physical breakers, because it's kind of just Terrakion, is what I think. Only good physical breaker is Terrakion. I think that's about it, though. I'm expecting at least one SD Battle Bond Greninja sweep. I guess he could be SD Grim, but that's going to be it for the stream, I think, guys. Thank you so much for coming out. I had a lot of fun talking about these teams with you guys. I got to actually go and rank these teams now. Again, number 48 is Jamal. Everything else is in the air right. Oh, number 1 is Ant. Everything else is up in the air right now. 47 through 2 I still need to do. So I'll have that ready for you guys. And you know what? Let me go ahead and close the poll right now. The stream will be Saturday, March 23rd at 8 p.m. EST. So be there for the power rankings, guys. I appreciate everybody coming out. Is there a Mario Party stream tomorrow? We'll have to see, because I have severely underestimated how busy I am. If there is a stream... Oh, how did Keegan do? That's a great question. If there is a stream, I'll keep you guys updated. But I severely underestimated how busy I am, so it depends on that. Keegan lost. Keegan haters are eating good. Let's go ahead and get this on stream. Last thing before we leave here. Keegan haters eating good. Let's see. There we go. Keegan haters eating good. Alright. I'm gonna hop off, guys. There might be a stream tomorrow. I can't promise it, but there will be a stream Saturday at 8 p.m. EST for the power rankings. And then Sunday, of course, we'll have the draft show. I would really appreciate it if everybody would be there. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be a fun time. Thank you guys so much for watching. And for now, guys, this has been John Jr. signing off.